In this video we are back with Find the Cheeses for the Cheese 300 update. If you do find this video helpful, if you can leave it a like, drop me a comment and hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. So 100% credit goes to Bat, the developer of Find the Cheeses. Cheese Academy to the rescue. This one is not for the faint-hearted. Bat asked me to do a full video of how to solve Cheese 300 rather than just giving you the code. So here we go, and it is insane. Starting off with step 1. And when you go into the index of Find the Cheeses, I'm not going to pronounce that, but Cheese 300, you see a number. That number is the player ID, and the player is Great Account 300. And there they are in their bacon-haired glory. So going into their full profile, into their creations, and you're looking for the game GRC 300, not their place. I did go into that one first. So going into this game, so technically this is step 2, and we've come into a map that is more familiar to Find the Cheeses. We see a cheese over here. You don't have to interact with them, but basically you have a conversation. Where are we? Oh, hey player, I didn't notice you. I think this is some kind of other dimension we're in. Oh, you won't know how to get out of here. Well, you can simply leave the game. I'm kidding, you need some kind of codes. You need codes, but you take them back to Find the Cheeses. Finding 4 buttons around the massive void. So yes, you do need to find 4 buttons, but that is not the first part of this void area. So this area is actually separated into 2 puzzles. So the first puzzle we can actually reach by ourselves without the buttons, and it's down this kind of stair bridge thing here. You can see the billboard notice board on this island over here, and you can see a code and it mentions paste bin. So I don't know what paste bin is, never heard of it before, would have had to Google it. Bat kindly sent me the link, and you come to this web page and it says you find yourself in the halls of the castle owned by a Chinese emperor. You look around and see a note seemingly glued to a wall. It is a diagram composed of sticks, some broken and some not. And then the note reads, God knows what language, I wouldn't know what that was. I'd have to copy and paste it into Google. And then underneath that, you've got a load of lines. So my head hurts already. Luckily, Bat gave me the answers. I don't know how many people have genuinely done this by themselves. When translated, it says, find a picture to reveal a hidden message. When translated, it says, Lu Shu from the place of knowledge. Combine those 2 sentences, say, find a picture to find a hidden message. Lu Shu from the place of knowledge. Oh my god. This is why I'm saying it's insane. The place of knowledge refers to Wikipedia, and typing Lu Shu into it gives you a page. It's a page about a magic square first discovered by a Chinese emperor. This is used to confirm you're on the right track. Because the first message tells us to find a picture, you need to use the picture used in the Wikipedia page. And this is said picture of the square in the Wikipedia page. And then we've got another bit. When translated, it says, ascend to heaven and claim your prize. So you need to find another page related to something similar to heaven. But let's look at the diagram for now. We know that it's 3 sticks and some are broken or split into 2. This is a trigram, or something consisting of 3 pictographs. The Chinese have a diagram which is called the 8 trigrams. So this is the next step. I think, oh my god, like genuinely, this cheese deserves the award for the hardest way to obtain it. I don't understand half of that, which is why I'm just reading it. I'm so sorry, I can't follow this. My IQ's not big enough. Looking at the Wikipedia page for the 8 trigrams, there are 2 versions that will immediately catch our attention. Early heaven and later heaven. from the flavoured text and the fact that the text is written in traditional Chinese. Really? I didn't even know it was Chinese. We can deduce that this should use the early Heaven version. Like, it wasn't hard enough. Like, bring in a good Caesar cipher for us. Each trigram is related to a compass direction, and this is how we get information about the numbers from the Lushu square. I don't know how to use that. Jesus. If we move in the direction of the trigrams, then we get a Roblox ID, specifically a user ID. After solving, it leads to this player here. And this is Labyrinth Room's profile. And then you see a load of text under the bio. So a weird dark mist engulfs the room you're currently on and you subtly pass out. How do you subtly pass out? I don't get that, okay? Once you wake up again, you find yourself in another location. The room of this location is very weird, almost labyrinth-like. Eventually you find your way out of the place just to realise that it is an Endo-period Nagaya. What is that? You notice a spark of ember in the corner of the house, and moments later the entire house burned down. All that's left is the remains of the house is a stone with Japanese words carved into it. It says... So we've switched from Chinese to Japanese, like translating one wasn't enough. So when translated, the place to go to find locally owned paintings, like... These are the most obscure quotes ever. What are you supposed to understand from that? The text says place, so the user could check the place or game owned by the user. Oh, of course, I kind of get that, but not with the paintings, but okay. And the game is called Line, which is Japanese for one. The description of that game says, only because I accidentally referenced place, you get a free code part. By the way, combine all the code parts without spaces and in lowercase. Enough chit-chatting. But if you call that chit-chatting, I have got a headache. This code part is rebirthed. So the first part of the code is rebirthed. The earlier text also mentioned locally owned paintings, the bit I didn't get, which refers to decals as they are images that can be accessed through Roblox and can be uploaded locally or by the user. I'm not a dev for Roblox. I wouldn't even know one thing about uploading decals and images. Oh my god. Looking through the user inventory, we can find the decal titled the 2 lines and then the 3 lines, which is Japanese for 2 and 3 respectively. Looking at this in order, we start with the 2 lines, and now we've got a decal with a grid and loads of dots, which I don't understand at all. The description on the decal reads, and we've got some more Japanese writing. I wouldn't understand this if this was in English. Translating it, we get, they don't have to be different, but they are. Why? To get more information on the decal. So let's look at the second sentence in the user bio. It translates roughly. I can't roughly translate this, let alone translate this. Astronomical show and good mood are puzzles. What? This doesn't seem to help much, but if we take a Google search at only the Japanese text inside the quotation marks, we find that both puzzles made by Nicoli Company, and this is how we solve the puzzles. Oh, yeah, I'm going to need a paracetamol or a stiff drink after this. So for 2, it is the first puzzle mentioned, which is Astronomical Show. You solve it by making sure each dot is covered by a region with a rotational symmetry. What? If you solve this and look at the different colours given to each dot, we can fill the different colours out with their respective colour. What? This gives our second code Rink. So our second part of the code is Rink. Why couldn't you have done something about ice skating? I may have then be able to connect the word rink to that. Now for 3, it's the other puzzle used in the quotation mark, which Google translated as good mood, but the actual puzzle name is Slant. Do the same process as Decal 2, then after getting the solved state of the puzzle, let's read the description. What? Oh my god. When translated, it says, There are only 2 possible tilings of the grid. What is a common encryption method that uses 2 distinct inputs? Oh, we're back to codes now and it's binary. Yeah, I wouldn't know that really. I couldn't have figured that out. If we take the diagonal going from bottom to left, top to right is 0, and diagonal going from top left to bottom right is 1, the translate using binary we get is decades. So the third part of the code is decades. Yeah. Combining all 3 code parts, the final code and the code for puzzle 1 is rebirth, rink, decades. This marks the conclusion of puzzle 1 onto the second puzzle. Oh, so this is technically now step 3 or puzzle 2. And remember the cheese, and they mentioned 4 buttons. Well, we're going to go around and find said buttons, but they haven't even made the buttons easy. They are neon white and black, which blends in so perfectly to the neon white and black backgrounds. So these again were so hard, Bat had to draw me a map and send it me. Oh, God knows what Bat thinks. He must think I'm stupid. Or maybe I'm not. Like, do leave me a comment if I should have been able to get this. So this is where we got sent off onto that monumental quest with Chinese and Japanese. The next button is here, so where the paste bin is. Again, like, look how that just blends in. How are you supposed to see that? And I went round the map. Looking for buttons. I look for buttons in these games and I couldn't see these ones at all. The next one is there. And the thing is, there are small squares and there's other things in this map, so they just blend in. I wouldn't know to go around and click that neon square. Do leave me a comment if you got this genuinely by yourself without any help, you weren't involved in the dev of this cheese. I would love to know if anyone has solved this by themselves. And seriously, like, you deserve an award. So the next one here, and it's like so hidden and it's in the right view, you can see the black. Other than that, like this, you're just going to see the neon white. And each of these buttons are bringing up the platform. So see the kind of black cloud, then the white one, then another black. So this is how you then bring up those platforms to go across. And then we come to this. So the Scarlet King heeds your call, a cry for help in an enigma's keep. The one who judges inside a hall, the weight of your sins will ever creep. A creator's calling is what you need, for the first 4 is what will lead. And then we've got a number. So again, we are back with Bash for the explanation. The poem is a game reference. The Scarlet King is often portrayed as the devil. The second line doesn't really reveal much information. Oh, so just throw in a red herring line for us. The third line refers to a judgment hall, which is the most memorable one, comes from Undertale. The fourth line is just to confirm the game is Undertale. What game is that? Like, this to me is... The person who's written this knows exactly what they're talking about, but everyone else in the room doesn't. Since the first and fourth line of the poem very clearly represents evil, it's talking about the Undertale genocide route. What is that? Which you fight the character Sans in the Judgment Hall. The name of the character is part of the code. Creator's calling refers to another spelling for creator, which is artist. Okay, the first 4 letters is arty, and since it will lead, it's the first part of the code. Combining the 2 parts, the code is artisans. Do you see what I mean by this takes the award for the hardest ever character in a game? So what you need to do now is type in artisans. and you will see a rumble. And what this is actually doing is bringing up a platform in this game. And then remember from the first delightful quest, we need to add in the first one. So it's Rebirth Rink Decades. You get another rumble, and that is the second platform that has come up. And then here are the platforms. So again, one neon white, one black. I think my retinas have been scarred yet again. And then the platform disappears and it's replaced with this. And this is how you then complete Cheese 300. So it's /E, puzzle 1, puzzle 2, but remove the brackets and commas. And this is where you need to go back into the main game. So this is step 4. So as instructed, we are putting both parts as a /E code into the game. So Rebirth, Rink, Decades, and then Artisans. Oh my god, I have never been so happy to see a cheese in my life. And there we go, there is the shape that I cannot pronounce, but Cheese 300. My head hurts significantly and my brain is tired, so I am going to go for a lie down and a strong cup of tea. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.